It is your Classic Metal Show right here on your ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Every Mother's Nightmare from their self-titled debut release with Walls Come Down.
See, you got twice with those endings.
Yeah, it's long endings.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. See, there's some reaction in the chat room to that song. Some like it, some don't.
Yeah, I don't mind Every Mother's Nightmare. They're all right.
You know what? I saw Every Mother's Nightmare, which is where I got the IDs from the band.
Mm-hmm.
Saw them at Billy Morris's club when he owned the Revolution.
Nice.
And to this day, as far as a small club show goes,
yeah,
they put on the best small club show that I've ever seen.
And they couldn't have been playing in front of more than 20 people.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of people. I remember what I had gone over to Billy's club. I went to the Nautica stage that night, and I saw Vince Neil, Tesla, Rat, and I think it was Slaughter. Yeah, it was Vince Neil headlining.
Right.
Tesla, Rat with Jizzy.
Okay.
And Slaughter.
All right.
And after the show was over, I went over to Billy's club.
Right.
And Every Mother's Nightmare was playing over there.
All right.
And it was after 11 o'clock. I remember that. I was by myself.
Right.
And I went over there and checked it out. And those guys just kicked ass.
Hey, buddy, it's Rick Rule.
Yeah.
On the Nightmare.
Yeah. And I got to hang out with those guys for a few minutes after the show and got those IDs and stuff.
Right.
Nicest guys you could know. But I'm telling you what, for a small club show, little stage show,
right,
kicked ass. Just a great sounding show.
Sure. Well, they're good. I mean, I don't hate them. I'll be honest, I really wasn't exposed to them really much. They didn't have like big hits, did they?
Just the Love Will Make You Blind.
Yeah, and I know that song, but
yeah, that was their radio hit.
Yeah, they were like third tier, right?
Yeah, they came in the late 80s, early 90s.
Right, and then they were gone. They got washed out with Nirvana.
But they continued making CDs and stuff. Obviously, they didn't hit.
Sure,
but they still continued making music. And they still continue to, play shows.
Right.
So I liked them. I liked them a lot. I liked that Rick Rule guy. He was really nice and very cool. And
seems all right.
Yeah. So.
I think I've interviewed him once on the phone, and he's like a real Hicktown guy.
Yeah, he's from Tennessee.
Yeah, he's like, hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I've interviewed him once.
Well, I got a message from somebody who's been a long-term CMS fan for years.
Okay.
And I haven't heard from in a while, but they just kind of resurfaced all of a sudden.
Okay.
Our good friend Serena, otherwise known as Sentimental Boulevard.
Talking about a hot chick.
Yeah. She just kind of hit me up here out of the blue. Said, hey, I'm listening tonight, and in 2016, due to my work schedule, I'll be able to listen every Saturday from here on out.
Nice.
So she sent me a couple of photos of her and her horse.
How ironic.
Speaking of horses.
How's she looking these days?
She's smoking as always.
Send them over immediately.
Well, it's just her and her horse, but I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
When we met her in fucking Cleveland.
Yeah, during the 13th anniversary show.
She was wearing these leather pants that were just hugging her fucking little tights.
Yeah, she's just a small gal.
Oh, but what an ass on that girl.
Sure.
That girl made me want to fucking be her shit just to fucking rub her ass.
Well, you recall the story about how much trouble just her existence caused me, right?
Yeah, just saying hello to her fucking got you almost broke, or it did break you.
Well, it did.
That was like last straw, wasn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
You could tell it if you wanted.
Yeah, I was going out with a gal.
Yeah.
At the time, and we were doing the 13th anniversary show.
Right.
And this gal, she'd been listening to the show for years.
Right.
She lived in Buffalo at the time. And she took a bus trip, which wasn't far from Cleveland. It was, 120 miles or something like that?
Yeah. Ooh.
Did you see the picture?
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I like the boots.
And, she took a Greyhound to Cleveland.
Right.
And when she got to the bus station in Cleveland,
right,
there were taxi cabs and there were limo drivers.
Right, sure.
Around the bus station. And she took the limo. The limo driver there told her, I'll take you to your hotel for the same cost as a taxi.
Right.
So she took the limo and she took a picture in her hot rock and roll clothes in front of the limo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then she posted the pictures of herself in front of the limo on her not her Facebook, but on her MySpace, because MySpace was, the thing at the time.
Right.
Well, the gal that I was dating at the time checked it out and saw her pictures in front of this limo.
Yeah.
She accused me, the girl that I was dating,
right,
that I was the one who got her the limo and picked her up and showed her like this first class time and blah, blah, blah.
Banged her out in the hotel.
Yeah. No truth to that at all. None. Zero.
She showed up, said hello. I mean, she didn't even sit with us for that long.
No, she came a little bit early before we even got going.
Yeah.
Came in, she introduced herself. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm going back to my hotel. I'll be back later for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she came back, enjoyed the show, hung out with us for a few minutes, went back to her hotel, and that was the last we saw of her.
Yeah, didn't even go with us to the after party.
Nothing.
No.
And when I got back home, because the gal that I was dating at the time did not go with me, because I didn't invite her, for one thing, because I was in Ohio visiting with family and you and my friends and whatever, and it was just like, this isn't really the time or the place to be dragging somebody along.
You were let's be honest, you were kind of at the end of that relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
And to take her would have given her the false sense of, meeting the family.
Exactly.
Meeting the friends.
Yeah. And so, of course, in her mind, not Serena's mind, but in the girl I was dating, in her mind, the reason you didn't bring me to the show was because you were meeting up with this girl so you could bang her.
It's too bad that wasn't true.
Yeah. There was no truth to that at all. There was nothing to that at all. But that, of course, was the scenario she played out in her own head.
Yeah.
Well, the reason you didn't take me to the show or bring me to Cleveland is because you were going to hook up with this chick, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that wasn't even close to any of the scenario.
It was, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have blamed you if you did.
Yeah, but that wasn't, there was no plan or even thought of that.
Even though she was coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we didn't know she was coming to that gig.
But that's the kind of trouble that I've run into.
Chicks.
It's just like, you know what? There was no forced thought in that at all. None. Zero. But of course I caught the brunt of it.
Right.
Because, that's what you were doing. It's like, no. Well, there had to have been a reason why you didn't bring me along. Well, yeah, because I was visiting with family and friends, and this just wasn't the place for you.
Right.
I didn't want to entertain you and try to visit with people that I haven't seen in a while.
Right.
End of story.
Yep.
But of course, that isn't how it played out in her mind.
Well, of course not.
But Serena, very attractive girl.
Yeah, she is.
She's just a cool little rocker chick. She just digs the show. She was a fan for years. I didn't know anything about her, and she made the trip out herself. It's just like, okay, cool. Glad you're here.
I'll say this: if I have a type, she is every bit of it.
Okay.
She, because you know how I am. I like the shorter girls, and she's what, 4'11".
Yeah, she's barely 5 foot tall.
She's like a little tiny girl with just a smoking rock hard body.
Yeah. She just loved the show, and she loves music, and she loves metal, and she's a fun loving chick.
Yeah, she was fun.
Yeah,
probably still is.
Yeah, so it's just like, of course I'm the one to blame.
Is she still ruined with a ring on her finger?
I have no idea.
Let's hope not. I mean, I hope that it's worked out.
No idea. But regardless, it's just funny that I caught shit for something that wasn't even true.
Well, that's the show.
It is.
We've both had. Now that I've been single, I've had that too.
She's 5'1".
Oh, well, sorry.
She goes, I love you guys, honestly. And by the way, I'm 5'1".
Oh, well, sorry I underestimated you by like an inch. Jesus.
But regardless of that,
yeah,
this has been my life.
Mm-hmm.
How many times during the time that you've known me have I caught shit for this show for things that I've never even done?
Jesus, how many times have you caught shit for things I've said?
Yeah.
Things that I've said. Sometimes things that I've said that you've disagreed with on the show, where you've said that's not true or whatever, and then they still get mad at you.
Yeah. I know, I love it.
So stupid.
I know, it's dumb.
It is dumb.
But regardless, I will stand by this show before I stand by any chick who wants to make a problem for me.
Yeah, well, they're not worth it.
It's make a problem for me.
Yep.
Let's see. She said I'll be 4'2" when I get older.
Probably so.
Oh, God.